Dr. Dani Babb is here to talk about the president's billion-dollar boost for small business. Is this the bounce that Main Street needs?
She's a doctor?
Dr. Dani Babb, a lot more happy hour next. That's right. Fox Business Alert stocks almost rising for a fifth straight day, but in the end, the rally melting just before the close. Our next guest said last Monday, before the 13% uptick, there might be a rally in the works thanks to the government stimulus. What does he see next? Welcome to Mark Faber, author of the Gloom, Boom, Doom report. He's on the phone from Hong Kong. Mark, thanks for joining us. Do we have you, sir? All right, you know, we're going to have to send it over to Rebecca. We'll try and get Mark back on the phone. Rebecca.
Okay, Eric, no problem at all. Hey, folks, President Obama today rolling out a $15 billion plan for small businesses, which we know are the engine of this economy and crucial to getting our economy out of this economic slump. But it's being met with criticism from the GOP. House Minority Leader John Bonner saying Obama's plan to get credit flowing again to small businesses include tactics that lacked sufficient oversight. Sure, we know small biz needs the help because the big banks are hoarding our bailout money, but the House representative makes a good point there. Will the president's $15 billion just be more wasted taxpayer dollars? If you take all of the American small businesses, that factors out to just $552 for each business, that $15 billion. All right, granted, not all of them will take, benefit from that money. Anyway, author of The Accidental Startup, Dani Babb, joins me in the Diamond District. And on the phone, we have Lynn Ozer. She's the commercial sales manager for Susquehanna Bank's lending division. And Lynn, you were there at the president's news conference as well?
That's correct. I was.
All right. So what do you make of it? We'll focus on the criticism second. First, do you think it's a good idea, this $15 billion now for small biz?
It certainly is a step in the right direction. And when the government puts the money out through their banking partners, we can leverage that in a far greater capacity than if there was to be a direct lending program.
Okay, how's the money going to be used? So your bank here, you will get some of this money and then you lend it out to small businesses? Explain that process briefly, if you would.
No, that amount of money is being divvied up in several different ways. And I personally have not read the entire bill because today I was busy with my customer and watching the president unveil part of the plan. But from what I understand, a lot of the money will be used to subsidize the cost to the borrowers of the program. The banks actually lend their own money, and the government guarantees those loans to the bank. Right. They usually guarantee 75%. This new plan will now allow a 90% guarantee on these loans. The other thing that it does is the borrowers pay up to 3.5% in fees to the government for an SBA guaranteed loan. It's actually charged to the banks, but the banks pass that fee on to the borrowers.
Okay.
That's a huge saving. For example, Marco Lentini, my borrower who was honored in introducing the president today, he's applied for a third loan with our bank to expand into a new location.
Lynn, that's enough detail there. I need to get to another guest right here. Dani, the criticism being, though, we can't ignore that, even though what Lynn's saying, sounds great and dandy, yet another government program here. What do you make of it?
Well, for once, I'm going to part with my party, and maybe we will agree on this one, that this is a good place to spend money. The problem is it's about 1% of the total amount of spending that's been spent so far, and the government came out and said, well, 70% of new jobs are created by small businesses. That is not true. 100% of them are, if we look at net job gain year over year. So if we're going to put money anywhere to actually get people employed again, this is the place to put it.
Okay, what about House Minority Leader John Bonner then saying Oh, my God, just more wasted taxpayer money. How do you create the oversight? Lynn there was saying, well, we're not really sure how it's going to be carried out. Specifically, she mentioned some of the great things that it would be helping small businesses lower the fees and so forth. How do you manage something like this when the government, I mean, the Treasury Secretary can't even get a full staff?
I know. What they've said so far is that they're going to require a monthly report, much like HIPAA did with hospitals, that's going to say how much are you lending to small businesses, and they're going to make sure that it's X percent of the dollars of total spending, and that it was increased by X percent. Those X percentages have not yet come out, but there will be some accountability from the banks back to the government in terms of providing this sort of assistance and getting some sort of numbers in return. What they're going to do with it, who the heck knows?
All right. Fox Business Alert, Dani wants the government to spend taxpayer money.
For one time.
For a change.
This is going to be Best Buy's new logo if we don't, okay?
Please buy, yeah. Circuit City already went that way. Dani, thank you so much. Lynn Ozer from Susquehanna Bank as well. Thank you.